to episode 8 of Chewing the Fat with Wendy and Jason. Yeah, I'm so excited. We love this new format because it's so much more streamlined and easy to follow. So just as a recap, what we're going to do today, we're going to talk about our biggest takeaway from the last 30 days. Then we're going to jump into a monthly topic. Then we're going to provide a little bit of breaking news for you and then conclude. That's it. That's the whole story. Wendy, how are you today?
I'm excellent. Super excited about our topics today.
Let's jump into the biggest takeaway from the last 30 days, starting with you, Wendy.
Yeah, so I've had a lot. This has been a very active 30 days, but the thing I wanted to talk about and really share is the concept of turning losses into wins and really viewing losses as access to more winning. And while I would love it if we had 100% retention rate forever and ever, and every customer stays with us forever and ever, that's not the case. And sometimes we lose customers for very valid reasons. They sell their company, they bring everything in-house because they've seen the value and it's worth it. And sometimes we lose customers for other reasons that aren't so great, where maybe they didn't see the value or there was just something about the relationship that didn't work. And those really hurt. And I think sometimes there's a tendency to not want to kind of feel the hurt and just kind of move on, and be positive about it. And I'm a big believer in that, but I'm also a big believer that feeling the pain, the disappointment, taking it personally, right? Everyone says, don't take it personally. Well, I kind of believe take it personally and then turn it into the ideal, and use that energy, use that emotion to, again, just like tap more into how you feel and then shift it to how you want it to be. And then as an organization, we can really use that to elevate, to truly turn any kind of loss, any kind of setback into a much, much bigger win. And I'm just a big believer in that. And hopefully I give the space for the team to feel that way so people don't feel like they're in trouble or something's wrong. I'm sure that's not always the case, but I think that's been my biggest takeaway this month is being more deliberate about that and really allowing the space to feel the disappointment, the frustration, and then providing the tools to shift it so that we can take it, X amount of levels up.
For me, the last 30 days is I've been really actively working on taking big numbers, big goals, and stop looking at them as big numbers and big goals. Getting there, first of all, I know getting there is definitely doable, but it doesn't feel doable when you look at the giant number, right? What does help, what does make it easier though, is to break it down. Okay, what do I need to do this week to make myself one step closer? What do I need to do next week to get myself one step closer? What does a monthly target look like to get us one step closer? And when you take a big step back and look at it in micro chunks, it is crazy easier to get to that big number, because when you focus only on like a target or something of that nature, and it's not happening fast enough. It's not, you're like, oh my gosh, we just had a win, but guess what? We're still blah, blah, blah behind. That doesn't help you. That doesn't help you think about, learn about what works, what doesn't. But if you're like, okay, how do I win X this week? How do I go from 0 to 1? How do I go from 0 to 2? And that is way more feasible. And that's something I've been really working on for myself to these past 30 days to help see the light in a lot clearer path.
Yeah, I love it. It's the little 1% improvements that add up to huge gains, versus trying to go for the big thing and then never getting there because it's too daunting or you don't see the progress. So I love it. I love 1% improvements, and they're easy. You can find them everywhere.
Exactly. I love it. For the monthly topic, this is actually something that I'm taking directly from an internal message from the lovely Wendy. So she, unbeknownst to us, had been planning on sharing a thought bomb, if you will, with us on loving your customers, loving your meetings, loving the people, fall in love with the people that you're talking to, fall in love with their goals, fall in love with all of that. And it had a really big impact for across the whole organization. It impacted our internal syncs. It impacted how our emails were being sent out. It impacted the customer communications that we were having. And it had a big impact on me too, as a really friendly reminder of the value of leading with empathy and the value of owning the conversation from a place that is filled with love. And I think love is definitely the right word. It's not a cushy word, it's the right word. And I loved it so much that I thought we should share it with you, our beloved customers, and wanted Wendy to touch a little bit more on it, because I think that it's a really, really unique and exciting approach to tackle challenging and even potentially mundane conversations.
Yeah, well, I love that you put this on the topic, and that this for you was the key topic to talk about, because yeah, I mean, love is not something we typically talk about in business, or with, when we talk about customers, or even, with all the HR rules, like between employees. And, I say, screw all that. And, to me, it's when you lead with love, it, everything's possible, and there's just so much more available. So yeah, I shared that message, and I guess I hope that anyone listening might take this on and try it with their own organization, because to me, it's just a ripple effect. And let's elevate humanity, right? And I think the way you do that is through love. But the message was really kind of what you said, Jason. It's just like, fall in love with our customers, fall in love with their businesses, fall in love with their goals. I mean, we get to get to know our customers so well, and get the honor of telling their story. And it's truly an honor. And so falling in love with that is, to me, just better access to being a better partner, and doing a better job in telling that story. Because we can all remember, especially when you're in love with someone and it's the early love, it's like you hang on to every word. You're excited about every interaction. Everything's interesting. You have more energy than you've ever had. I mean, we all can tap into that. And so that's the point. Like, if we can tap into it, because hopefully just by hearing that you tapped into it a little bit, you can tap into it ongoingly. So that was the message. And it's definitely a theme in our company that we're going to keep tapping into. And hopefully, you as our customers will feel more of that. I hope you already feel it, but I hope that you'll feel more of it. But I guess the request, if you will, is try it on. And it's not just the external facing customers, right? It's internal. It's, how you treat your team, your partners. Just fall in love with them all, because everyone's got, amazing reasons to fall in love with them.
And I think that's really what got me thinking from what you did, Wendy, was you get very focused. It's so easy to get your head on, like, who am I talking to today? What do I need to do? What do I need to get done? How do I put those checks next to the boxes? And if you're focused on just putting those checks next to the boxes, well, guess what? That's your communication style. You're just trying to get the check next to the box. And look, sometimes you have tasks and you got to get it done, and that's fine. But if you take one of those checks and you say, how do I make that check like really thick and like nailed it, that's the magic I experience with what this whole leading, falling in love with. That takes it to a next level. Rather than a check, it's like a marker, like Sharpie, permanent
Or a
check.
heart. It's a
Yeah,
heart.
or a heart. Yeah.
Well, you're bringing up for me something. So I have Southern roots. My parents are both from South Carolina. Both my parents and my grandparents, like, all amazing cooks. And but they don't cook with recipes. They cook really from the heart. And I'm sure we've all experienced someone who follows the recipe to the T and serves something and, is kind of doing it more as a something to be done versus, cooking something from love and adding ingredients kind of based on feel. And I don't know, I think it's just like it's a good analogy because you can kind of relate to that. And anyone out there that is a cook or a chef knows the difference. But yeah, like I think it's just when you infuse something that you're preparing with love because you're excited about it and you're excited to serve it, I mean, it's going to be out of this world delicious.
100% agree. Awesome. And I guess the last thing I'll say with that is don't forget your own team.
Yeah.
There's next time you send out that Slack message or send out that email or record a Loom video to someone, think of what Wendy's saying here, because I can assure you that if you're falling in love with your teammates, you're going to get a better result.
Yes. Let's just end it there.
Yeah. Breaking news. Here we go. All right. So we have a new offering on LinkedIn that I wanted to bring to your light. Wendy is doing a wonderful weekly newsletter entitled Side of Bacon. And this is a really easy to digest, super relevant to if you're growing your business and you're trying to just be present to what's happening in the world. I'm personally loving every week of these. In particular, you just did one on don't look at all the shiny things. And it plays into your ongoing theme of just really mastering the basics.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make sure that there's a link here that you can access it, but just go onto LinkedIn and type in Wendy's name and just subscribe. It's that easy. You don't need a link. Come on. Anyway, here's Wendy to talk a little bit about this because I'm excited.
Well, it's great when you have a team that can help execute these things because obviously, this got created through our conversations and I'm able to share some things that are important to me and then you take it and you do your magic with it. So it's a great collaboration. I love it. I love the simplicity of it, short snippets, and yeah, they're really based on our own learnings as a company, going from startup to growth to scaling and building teams and keeping our product top notch, like all the things that we've done and continue to do to grow. And it's just fun to break them down super simply and share them in a way that hopefully after reading it, you're able to do something with and execute on it in some way, shape, or form. So I love it. I think it's been fun to collaborate with you. It truly is a collaboration, with you and some other members of our team, but it's hopefully useful. And I have been getting some great feedback. I was at lunch the other day with someone who was like, oh, I'm seeing this thing, I signed up. And so, yeah, I've been getting, little bits and pieces here and there, and we just started it. So I hope you'll sign up and share and comment. And if there's something that, some learning you got from it, share that too, because maybe we'll take it and run with it and mention you in it.
Yes. And who doesn't like a side of bacon?
I mean,
come on.
If there's anyone that doesn't, like, bye-bye.
Yeah, get out of here. Okay, well, that's it, folks. We're just going to give our quick takeaways of what this session meant to us, etc. I'll just start right off with my biggest takeaway was just fall in love. Fall in love with everything you do. If your fingers are hitting the keyboard, if your mouth is moving and there's language coming out, if your 4-year-old is opening the door and saying, I love you, daddy, just love all about it. Wendy?
That's awesome. Yeah, I loved the conversation. I like what you were saying about the 1% improvements. Again, it is such a basic concept, and I've certainly been known to always want to go after the big, hairy, audacious goal and, and conquer it as quickly as possible. So I'm inspired to look at all areas of my life and figure out where are those 1% improvements that I can make, and have some wins today, and love doing it. So thank you.
Fantastic. All right. Well, that's a wrap. Episode 8 is in the books. Thank you again. We love these sessions, and we love you. So take care.
Yes.